What's going on, blurs, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the syndicate here, and we're with another episode of With the BS. And today I have with me Jeremy. We're going to be talking about Moon Knight. We're going to also talk about just Marvel television shows all together, what we like about them, what we don't, and honestly, if they're really doing a good job of it compared to other people that have had their properties. So beforehand, Jeremy, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Moon Knight sucked.
So we're just getting right into it. So
we can go through it. I mean, we can go through it. I'm a contrarian at this point.
So what about
what you're getting into, guys?
This is why we're with the BS. So and Tots, what's going on, man? So what about Moon Knight did you not like? We'll start there.
Let's talk about Moon Knight for a second. Let's talk about what we like, what Moon Knight is to you as a person, right? Before we jump into it. Moon Knight, he's never been one of those characters that for me personally is just like the main draw to comics or the Marvel Universe or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I've always loved him visually. I've always loved when he teams up with other people. I've always thought that he was a really cool character to get into. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was darker than they gave him credit for, which is insane because he's killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my main problems with the show is like he spends so much time with Steven and spoiler alert, right? We're doing spoilers?
I put spoilers in the comments. So if you haven't seen this may be the good time to hop off.
Yeah, I mean you gotta know what you're getting into with this conversation. Steven, they reconcile, they do their thing, but Moon Knight's not in his own show a lot. Like Steven, he's half Moon Knight, like I get it, but he's not the guy for me. So what about you? What do you think?
So I did it wasn't bad. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it was the best example of Disney's production like the production value as far as like aesthetically speaking, like to the eye was great. But I felt like for a character that wasn't known a whole lot, you had to wait until like episode 5 to really see what was going on. So Todd says the Munchkin says hello to Mr. Jeremy and Mr. Wool. I'm Mr. Wool because I'm a heavy sweater. But yeah, I just felt like it just, you didn't get an understanding of why a lot of stuff was going on. And I understand that sometimes that's the way that, you want to play it, where you play at the very end, there's the big reveal. But like with those kind of characters, I feel like you need to have more backstory ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like, but it was like the last 2 episodes were really good for me. Like I really appreciated those.
I'll give you that. I enjoyed those. So my like experience with it, I watched episode 1 and I was like, and everybody was like, you got to be more patient. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I got to give you a little bit of my like personal mantra too, right? Mm-hmm. Every piece of entertainment is in direct competition with every other piece of entertainment.
Okay.
Right? Like, I'm a writer, and as a writer, I always subscribe to the rule, like, if somebody picks up a book, right, my book, any book, and they read a page or they read 2 or 3 pages and then set it back down, they're probably never going to pick it back up. And the reason for that is they got work, they got every other TV product, they got every other book in the world, they got a newspaper, they got their kids, they got their family, they got their friends, they got a bar, they got everything else.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring one other person along with us.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Yes, sir.
So well, I'm gonna do sir, and then you're gonna be Jeremy.
That'll work.
Okay. So, Jeremy, go ahead and finish kind of explaining why or what you feel about like the mantra of when you watch or
Okay.
ingest content.
So people always say like you got to give it more time. You got to be more patient. Like, can I cuss on your show? I forget.
Yes, yes, you can.
Friendly? Okay. Every single piece of shit TV show on every single subscribing service, everybody wants me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll tell you, on a standard week, I got maybe 4 hours that I watch TV. On a bad week, maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the number of TV shows that I'm like able to watch, it's very limited. And I just can't put up with every single bad piece of TV, right? And not even bad. If 2 really great things come out, one of them gets, kicked to the back. Marvel has historically been something that is right at the top for me. Historically, it's been 2-hour chunks of media that are stellar,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so for Marvel's TV shows, the last couple of TV shows, I gotta sit through a 2-hour movie over 6 hours, and that sucks. If Moon Knight was a 2-hour movie, it would have been a better product by a wide margin. I watched episode 1, thought it was, and I was like, well, I'll give it episode 2 because everybody's telling me how impatient I am. I watched episode 2 and thought, wow, this sucks. And then you said, well, we're going to do the talk about Moon Knight. And I was like, I got to keep up, right? That's Marvel in my head now. I got to keep up. And then I watched episode 3 and I literally said, this is a chore. And I quit, because I don't have that much time. And then you said, watch episode 5. Episode 5 was good. And then I thought, well, if episode 5 was good, I'll try episode 6. I'll get there. I skipped episode 4. Episode 5 was good. It could have been tighter. And episode 6 was good. It also could have been tighter. So I think if you took these 6 hours and you made it a 2-hour movie, it would have been really, really good. And that's where I stand.
Todd said, I find my schedule does better with 30 to 60 minute chunks. So, yeah, he says he prefers to have 2 to 3 hour movies. So I get that. Like, I think I've seen, especially with the movies or with the Disney Plus shows, they genuinely start slow, and then after that they kind of get better towards the end of the season that they have, or that mini series. Because like I thought about like WandaVision. And for me, like those first 3 episodes were really, really slow because like there was nothing that kind of made it like, but I was like, okay, towards the end of episode 3 going into 4, that's when I was like, okay, I'm starting to rock with it. I'm starting to maybe get a little bit of the picture.
Can we spend just a second on what you just said?
Yeah.
Episode at least 1 and 2 and maybe 3 aren't part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, they are part of the actual experience of the show, but like, what do you get out of them other than Wanda's broken? Like, Wanda's in this like crazy TV world. They're not really part of the show other than that. They're not part of the plot or whatever. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. So we got some people. First, Todd said that he usually breaks movies over a couple nights. I can't do that. Like, my mind doesn't let me do it where I can just be able to like, hey, I have to see all of it all together, so then I can be able to do that. But then Mr. Ed C said that he thought the show was good. Oscar Isaac is going to be a great Moon Knight, but it fell into the realm of like the FX show Legion, where it was difficult to keep up with the reality versus the existential. So I get that I get that for episodes like 5 and 6, where you were kind of wondering whether or not it was, if he was dreaming the whole time, or if, where all that kind of realm played. And then I do like the fact that you didn't know who was the primary, you know what I mean? Whether it was Mark or Steven. So it definitely did that, and I liked for them to spend more time. Like it was a mix of like Indiana Jones or National Treasure. As far as that's concerned, I just thought it was going to be more gruesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more like kill people, you know what I mean, and maybe even kind of get into the mythos of certain Egyptian gods as more than what they did than just like the two or three that they touched upon.
Yeah.
But
in the comics, you spend a lot of time not knowing if he's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, I feel like I understand what Mr. Edsey is saying, but I kind of wish that they played that better. Like I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up because Sir hasn't had a chance to talk yet. But like, let's talk about the way that other things that do this work well. And the ultimate example for me is Fight Club. You don't really know if he's insane for a long time, and you don't really suspect he's insane for a good chunk of that long time. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, no, I get it, and I've always understood this for some reason. And I think that there are just other better examples of that too, where like, I don't know, it's just played wrong. I'm gonna shut up for a minute. I'm gonna give Sir a chance to talk.
Sir?
Yeah. All right. So sorry about being late. I'm driving and got stuck in traffic. It's almost like it's a holiday or something. But anyway, uh so Jeremy, I agree with you. I think Marvel is in this thing where they're turning movies that should be shows and vice versa. I think Eternals should have been a show, and I think Moon Knight should have been a movie. I fully agree with you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Thank
I
you.
hated episode 4 and I hated episode 2. I despise those episodes. And that's bad because it's 6 episodes and 2 of them I did not like. And that's a problem because the first one was like my first morsel, my first taste. And the second one just had me like, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. And then the third one brought back the action. And then the fourth one was like, oh, y'all are stopping again. So I totally understand what you mean. I'm in a place as well where I don't have a lot of time for media. And that is one of the reasons, hot take, I didn't like the Batman.
Ooh.
Did not enjoy it. Did not enjoy it.
Damn
It was too
Jeremy.
long and too boring. I get that they were going for a movie that was a detective movie. Just wasn't feeling it. I was on my phone. That's bad. And I'm a Batman guy. I was on my phone, and the messed up part, I tried to watch it like 3 times.
Wow.
Oof.
Did you pull a tots and try and break it up over 3 nights?
Yeah, I finished it. What's today? Today's Sunday. I finished it Thursday, and I was like, okay, that was a cool, climactic end. That was cool, but that
We lost Sir there for a second,
the
and he's
amount
back in.
that there was a. Oh, can you hear me?
We got you now.
Okay. Do you guys remember that there was a 4-hour version out there?
No.
4-hour version of Batman?
Yeah, the original version. The original version is 4 hours.
I wonder what they would have cut out.
And that's my point.
Long-ass movie.
That's what I felt like Moon Knight was to me.
Yeah, same.
I really felt like you could feel that there were 2 different directors.
Yeah.
And then I went back and looked, and it actually was. And the crazy thing is, so remember I said I hated 2 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
The original director did 4, and someone else did the other 2. So the fact that I could feel that lets me know that I'm probably not the only one who felt that way. There are great examples of multiple personalities and mysteries and trying to understand if someone's broken. A great example is Shutter Island. Yes. Shutter Island did it perfectly, where there was horror, dread, and a mystery going on at the same time.
And you never really 100% knew.
Correct. So I'm with you, Jeremy, because I'm a huge Moon Knight fan. I like the fact that he straddles the line of, is this guy sane or is this guy, teetering on the brink?
Yeah.
So I get exactly what you mean. Now, Oscar Isaac, I think he did amazing. I think he did great with what he was supposed to do. His ability to flex between those characters in the same scene was great. But I just felt like this probably would have been better with maybe like 2 hours, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. So Todd said something about the shows are not for the mainstream folks, and the Disney crowd is not really a Marvel crowd, so they got to slow the roll for the audiences. I just like, I feel like with their library being so crazy, stupid big, like they don't have to necessarily have to, you know what I mean? They don't have to cater anybody. Like they can have their niche group where they can be able to have people doing, you know what I mean? If you want to have something that's like a murder mystery, if you want to have something that's straight for, you know what I mean, the Marvel fan, you can be able to do that. Like you don't have to necessarily spoon feed everything to everybody. You know, so I wanted to ask this question. So how did this rank for you guys as far as Disney, like Marvel, Disney, you know, they have those short projects that they're doing. How does that rank for you?
Are you talking about just Disney? Or are you talking about all of the Marvel products, or like, are you talking about Marvel and DC? Like, where's the line for you?
So I'm going to talk just about the ones that have been on Disney Plus, because we're going to talk about how they compare versus like the ones that they have with Netflix. Because I think Netflix is honestly right now doing a better job with the properties that they had versus what they've been doing with Moon Knight. Now I do love the fact that they're getting more exposure to lesser known characters, but I also feel like they're not doing them as good of service as they could.
Hey man, glad to have you. Glad to have you really fully on.
So I'll go first. I recently did a list online on Facebook, where I did my top 5 of the shows that were Disney exclusive, and I put this at number 4, just above Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because what was it? Morgenthau as the villain was pretty boring. And I didn't like that whole speech that they had Captain America do at the end.
Yeah, that should have been shorter.
Yeah. So
And
I put this
it
above
felt like
that.
they changed the camera, like the director changed right there, like they moved to the second director.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It went from an avoiding topic to let's just banter into the camera, and I was like, that ain't it.
Like he was right, but like, come on.
Mr. Etsy said that
that's exactly what I said. He's
was
right.
better than the Winter Soldier, not better than WandaVision or What If. I would like to have had to seen Bast, Wakanda, and when the Egyptian god showed up, just to tie the mythos together. So
yeah, I agree. I was hoping that would happen, but you know.
So yeah, that's so so Jeremy, you making your list now?
I'm making my list. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but that's exactly
check it twice.
Yeah. Aha, I see what you did there. But I think I think I would see. I didn't really care for WandaVision that much, but I think it's still better than. I think it's still better than this. You know what I mean? And then the other thing that What If was cool, but it all just felt like one shots that happened to be connected. You know what I mean? So it wasn't to me, it didn't feel like a whole story until like the very end, and then they're like, hey, this is how it all came together. That's true.
Technically, if you think about it, they're saying everything from What If is canon, technically, then. If you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what kind of bullshit is that, though? Everything in What If is canon because What If is literally the entire spectrum of anything that could possibly exist, right? If
Jeremy, I love you, bro.
Then, like, literally everything is canon. You throw in, like, Oh, I can't. I mean, think of any book like MASH. MASH is canon because it's
Match is
everything.
canon. MASH is a great show, though. I'm sorry.
It's a good show. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
a good. I would just grab any other TV show.
6 episodes is going to be the story. Not worrying about a full season, or multi season.
And that's the other thing. People are screaming for a second season. I don't want it. I think this was a good open and shut story. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go on. Let's get to the next character.
Well, I would like to have him, like, if they're going to do something like that, like have him that way you don't have to introduce him or you don't have to tell his backstory. So that if he's in, say for instance, you know how you were talking about with the Eternals, they had what was it? Like you thought, what was the group that they were going to make where it had like Blade and
the Midnight Suns or MI13. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do that, where you're gonna have like a darker, you know how Justice League has Justice League Dark. If you're gonna make a team that's going to be like that, where it's like for the Avengers or things like that, or the Midnight Suns, if that's what they're about, because I'm not real familiar, then that'd be understandable if you're gonna do something like that. But they left a lot of things open. And by the way, we need to talk about how they made fucking Megazords out of the Egyptian gods. That like I was like, huh? Like,
can I ask y'all something real quick about that?
Sure.
Did anybody have to adjust the brightness on their TVs? Did anybody have to adjust the brightness on their TVs, like to see what was going on?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I had to cut up the brightness to see what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
They were just Megazords, and then after that, like it upset me because I was just like, if I wanted to watch Power Rangers, then I would do that. But
now I did like how Moon Knight was fighting Harrow in the air, switching back and forth.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like
that in order to catch up to him. I thought that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing Steven actually fight for real.
Yes. Where he had that moment, it was like, if you can do it, I can do it. And then suddenly he just could. Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
That was dope.
But see, the other thing was, like, everybody else had cool, like, avatar suits, or, you know what I mean? And Harrow was just fighting in, like, like his whole, like, his whole, like, vacation fit.
What we're not about to do is disrespect the swag of a linen fit. We're not going to do that.
Listen, I'm not disrespecting it. All right, you guys got to talk. I gotta.
All he needed was a gold chain, and he would have been perfect. I also was concerned about that, especially when Amit took over his body and became his avatar officially. I was like, oh shit, what kind of outfit he's gonna get?
Yeah.
Nothing. Just an axe blade.
They did that other girl wrong too. Her outfit was good, but it was too basic for what
it was. Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It was Wonder Woman 84. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade, guy. Bruh, she even blocked the bullets exactly how Wonder Woman does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling it. I like that. I like the suit. The suit looked very Assassin's Creed-ish to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was dope. And she was like, and I hate these moments, but I love the moment when the little Egyptian girl was like, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" And she was like, "Yes." I was like,
I like that moment.
I like that.
I have a list up of all the stuff that Marvel has done.
Todd said Wonder Woman 85 a little bit better than Wonder Woman 84. So, go ahead, Jeremy.
I got my list. Okay. So number one of the best TV shows of all time, Daredevil.
Absolutely.
And then specifically Luke Cage in Jessica Jones. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, awesome, perfect. The rest of the show, then Hit Monkey, then Punisher season 1, then Loki, then Runaways, Cloak and Dagger.
Oh shit! I forgot about Runaways.
That was a good show.
That was a great show.
I really liked Luke Cage until Mahershala died, and then
Jeremy is my fucking spirit animal, bro. When When Cottonmouth died,
Yeah,
the show dropped a few points. It's like the momentum was not there anymore, bro.
they should have ended it.
Because
Yes.
man, because the thing
Like-
was, yeah, with Luke Cage and Cottonmouth, they were like the opposites of each other, trying to do the same thing. So then after that, they never had their moment where they came together and had a conflict to settle who was right, who was wrong. They just ended it before it could even really develop. It's like killing off like a feud before it actually hits that pinnacle, that climax, as far as that's concerned.
I like the fact that anytime they were in the same room, the tension was there, but there were no physical blows thrown. It was literally, well, not literally, metaphorically, chess being played whenever they were around each other. Because yes, he's invincible, but Cottonmouth could kill everybody he cared about.
Yeah.
So the invincible black person in the room had to walk on eggshells around this mortal who could have everybody around him killed. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. So his power was like completely separate. You're right. That was awesome.
Yeah, Todd said that it's kind of like having Killmonger getting killed so quickly.
Right.
So, yeah, Jeremy, you have a really good list. You bring up a really good point too. So, do you feel, you guys, that like other properties are doing better with the MCU's characters than Disney is right now?
I think so, and I think I know the answer. Sir, give me 2 seconds. Let me expand on this, and then I want to hear your answer too. Netflix had to work. Disney does not. Disney thinks they have a built-in audience. Disney thinks, every Marvel property, we'll just slap the name Marvel on it. People will love it. Netflix had to work, and they did. So I don't know who was behind. Actually, I think I do know who was behind Daredevil. But with Daredevil, they put in the work. They got it right. And then they kept it up, you know? And then they thought, well, we got the audience for this. Let's roll out Iron Fist. Suddenly, they realized that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You still had to work. You don't get away with Iron Fist.
Yep.
So what do you think?
I agree, brother. Nothing to me, honestly, nothing's gonna top that first season of Daredevil. As much as I like season 2, season 1 just introduced us to the long fight scene that we look forward to every season.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I still remember he hit a motherfucker with a microwave. Bruh, like I will never forget that.
You're talking about the scene where he's like kicking doors in it?
Yeah, for the little kid. For the little kid. Nope. But here's the thing. So I also believe Daredevil season 1 is the best because there's never been someone's that's ever been smashed, their head smashed in by an SUV door.
Right.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. And then like Daredevil took a lot of L's in that first season that were just like, hey, you think you can be, a superhero? We got something in these streets called these hands that will change your mind really quickly.
And he was just a man, and that ruled.
Yeah. That's as much as we like to see our hero prevail, we love to see our hero fail. We love to see him fail.
Yes, we do.
And I agree with you too, Zach. That was my next show that I really loved. I really loved season 1 of Punisher because
season 1, season 2 sucked. It was
I
okay.
agree.
It was okay
because they tried to make me empathize with Jigsaw, and I didn't care. He did all that shit in season 1. No. I don't give a damn if you don't remember. He still deserves a bullet.
Did shit with season 2? Like I don't care.
Right. So season 1 with Punisher, hearing him in all his rage proclaim that, yeah, you call me the Punisher, that's what I am. Like hearing Mr. Barenthal embrace that character in that courtroom scene.
That was in
those palpable moments you're not getting in Disney, bro. I'm sorry. Those just hardcore, I don't give a fuck if you like me or not moments. Is what gets me, bro. So
and you know what I said about like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones? It's the same. Punisher in Daredevil was like the most intense Punisher that you could get.
Yeah.
That jail scene? That jail scene was and let's just take a moment. Vincent D'onofrio playing any part, like he is like he can play damn near anything he wants to. I just want to say because like he's played an alien on Men in Black. He's played a detective on Law and Order SV or no Criminal Minds, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's done what was it? He's done so many movies, and he is just he's a gem of our generation. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
He can go back and forth between Kingpin and the bug monster in Black.
There we
Sugar
go.
water. More, please. More, please.
More. So, the Cell, yeah, that's what Todd said as well.
Holy shit, he was in the cell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's him, man. It's like everything you mentioned something he was in, and you're like, yeah, that was him because he disappears into a role. He's not one of these actors where it's like, yeah, I want to see this movie because it's him, but you see a movie and it's like, wow, that's good, and it's like, oh yeah, that's this guy.
Have you guys seen the Magnificent Seven with the newer one?
Yeah.
He plays like a woodland guy where somebody like how you get introduced to him in the first part of the movie is somebody beat him over the head with a rock and stole his rifle and his horse. And so they were like, yeah, man, we beat him up, we killed him, this, that, and the third. They're like, oh, okay. He comes back and throws like an axe into the guy's spine and then beats it, like kills him. So then after that, and then there was somebody else there too, and he hit him with a rock. So
that's my man. Hit him with a rock.
Yep, just hit him with a rock. So
death by rock.
So that was crazy, but it's a really good show. So Jeremy or movie, you got to go watch that one. It's actually with Denzel Washington in there too, and Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, and it's got a lot of great dudes in it, and you just kind of forget because it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like
Ethan
a good
Hawke
cowboy
is in there.
flick.
And Harrow, so Harrow's in there too.
And I liked Ethan Hawke as Harrow. I did. I think he did okay.
I think Ethan Hawke fell victim to the exact same thing that Oscar Isaac fell victim to. I think they did a great job, but it just wasn't good. The show just wasn't good. Like they did a great job.
I can feel that. I can't argue that. I think it's equivalent to doing the best with shit that you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can't even argue against that, brother. I
would have loved to see the backstory with how Harrow was broken by Khonshu.
Yeah, where's that?
So
maybe
like
that should have been episode 2. Mm-hmm. That right there should have been episode 2. That in itself.
Yeah.
Because now we're not going to ever find out because of the fact that he's dead and everything like that. So you don't really find that out. So
man, we're talking about Marvel and Disney. Who knows? You get Agatha, the TV show. What is that junk?
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
And that's the thing I don't like, or I hope that doesn't become an issue. Like they see a breakout star and they kill him off in the original series. And so then because they didn't realize what they had, they just go ahead and give a spinoff to it. Now I get it. Like they're great actors, but if you couldn't feel like it shouldn't be a reactive thing. It should be something that like, that this person's good. You see that while you're producing it. And then you're like, damn, like we need to change the story where maybe she gets away and then she has her own story. Because I still feel like what Todd said, they killed Killmonger off way too soon. There could have definitely be like a redemption story, a story of him finding his culture, because like, a lot of times as a Black person, like you don't feel connected to Africa because of the fact that you're American first now. So having him be able to be connected to Wakanda, finding pride in himself and also his country, you could have been able to put something together like that. But I think sometimes they kill him off too soon because they want to be able to have they're following the Disney script. You know what I mean? They always kill off the character in Disney movies. If you look at Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, anybody that they the antagonist always ends up just having a demise in a certain sense.
Can we stay on that for just a second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 thoughts on that. Number one, of course, nobody knew Chadwick was going to die, right? Like, the man's a hero. I wish that he had told somebody, hey, this is happening, so they could have, planned a little bit. But whatever, he's a hero, and I miss what he was doing. But number one, Killmonger's line about, why save me? Epic. Number two, I'd watch a movie where Killmonger was legitimately Black Panther. I'd watch that.
That's what I wanted to have happen. I wanted to have Killmonger, like they put him in some kind of stasis where they were able to save him, and then after that be able to not make him like a prisoner, but he's just confined to Wakanda. And so then he's just chilling with the Jabari tribe, and he learns what it is to actually be a warrior and not like a soldier just taught to kill and taught to protect, because I think there's a subtle difference between the two, and then actually becoming Black Panther after he becomes missing.
They did a really good job with Winter Soldier with the exact same idea.
So
it's still possible. He took the heart-shaped herb. T'Challa obviously survived a stab wound and falling off a waterfall and freezing damn near to death. So I'm pretty sure a good old sword to the chest could probably be remedied with anything.
Yeah.
So bring him back, man. Nobody will complain.
Nope. Especially.
How do you guys feel about what are they calling it? Untitled Wakanda Project?
I don't know what the fuck going on, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm concerned.
I heard that it's just pretty much like a love story to Chadwick and all the things that he's done, but I don't
want that.
So to me personally, I feel like the title of Black Panther is to show, strength no matter what, an enduring spirit throughout the generations, no matter what goes on. Because I'm pretty sure, in the ethos of Black Panthers, there could have been somebody that just got fucked up or like just after getting the title, you know what I mean? So being able to have somebody to be like, okay, well, it's definitely a sad time, but still be able to move forward and push through, I think would be a good thing. But I don't know how they're going to do it. And I don't know it in like, hopefully, I don't know, like with all the multiverses and things like that going on, maybe they can have some way to bring him in, or another universe's version or a variant. You know what I mean? They talked about a lot of different things like that. Hopefully they can do something like that that would help out.
I haven't seen Doctor Strange, so don't spoil it.
I haven't either. So,
what are you guys excited about? I mean, I'm looking at the list of Marvel Cinematic Universe garbage on. It's not all garbage, don't get me wrong. I'm looking at the list for TV, and this actually just says Phase 4, and it's all TV. Where are we? Yeah, it's basically all TV. Like, I'm really excited about the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, holiday special. But, like, what are you guys excited for?
Ooh, what's left for me? Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, I guess. Because I love the character. I love the idea of getting like what is it, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid or something like that kind of style of a show. I think that's gonna be dope. Because I feel like I've seen enough dark in a row. If that makes sense. Like I've seen enough adult dark to satisfy me for a while. So a little bit of upbeat, kid would be kind of dope. I'm excited to see what She-Hulk brings as well. Say what?
You saw 3 whole hours of Batman. You need something.
Exactly, bro. Like I'm burnt out on dark brooding stuff, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Kamala Khan's show and She-Hulk got my ears perked. So yeah.
Are they doing another season of Loki?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm excited about that one. I'm excited about the Ms. Marvel. That one was really good. Hopefully you'll get to see what's her face? The one that was in WandaVision. Uh
Oh, Photon.
yeah. Yeah. I was gonna call her Black Miss Marvel, but I didn't want to.
No, you're talking about, what is her name? Photon?
Photon.
Yeah, Photon. I'm excited to see her. Hopefully they can all come together. What else? Yeah, I do want to see how they do She-Hulk, but like I don't know. I feel like Marvel is losing steam. Now I haven't seen, Doctor Strange, and people swear up and down that that's like a really, really good one. But I just I want to be able to see more than I want them to change up the formula. I want them to do stuff. Are they having a Mr. Blue Marvel? Because that would be awesome if they were. Because I heard he's like the shit. So
So Blue Marvel is one of the original black superheroes that they kind of whitewashed out of history, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be a really cool story to tell.
Yeah. So they said that he was, because I remember I was doing some facts on him, like facts on black superheroes in the month of February. And so like one time it was in the 60s, he was there and he had fought this really bad supervillain, and he had always worn a mask so that they never knew he was black. And then the mask got burnt off, and they was like, oh, they found out that you're black. Hey, we're gonna have you chill out on being a superhero now. And I was like, how like we know the world is in danger sometimes. However, we're just gonna risk it just because we don't want to be saved by a black guy.
They did that in Watchmen too, right? Hooded Justice?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
I feel like that's true. Like that's how the world would work then. So yeah.
now, if no disrespect to Blue Marvel, but because we've already spoken and seen Isaiah Bradley, I would like to get that story first. Just me personally. I would like to see the whole situation play out as to why he really don't fuck with America.
He said he may actually be in Miss Marvel too, which would be wonderful.
Are we talking about Blue Marvel, or are we talking about Isaiah Bradley?
Blue Marvel.
Okay. So Isaiah Bradley is the Patriot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you be satisfied with the Young Avengers? Because that's where I think they're going.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take him in the Young Avengers. But
I just don't
training his godson or grandson. Excuse me.
I don't want to see a CW version of the Young Avengers, and I'm just hoping, because like I'm tired of that drama. Like
Riverdale.
Yeah, like they're canceling all the CW shows for a reason, and it's not because, you know what I mean. I think that's kind of being played out a little bit. Like they're not realistic anymore, and they I'm gonna go on my little rant about Green Arrow, because like it was so good, and then they went from action like centered stuff to being like, hey, let's talk about Oliver and Felicity, and then the show just started to suck to shit. You know what I mean? Like it was horrible, because like the first episode he broke a man's neck just because he was like, hey, you saw my face and you saw that I could do this stuff, so you got to go.
Yeah, you're right. He was like deadly. Like,
he was
closer to
he was a murderer.
Deadly.
Let's not say deadly. No, he was a murderer.
Yes, he was a straight up murderer. You're right. And like borderline irredeemable. Some of the stuff.
Yes. And we love that.
Yes. And when he had like a Russian gang tattoo, you were like, no, that's right. That makes sense. And then they retconned it to where, like, when he was in a Russian prison, he was like a good guy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They pushed out on us, bro. They pushed out on us.
They could have did better for sure.
But yes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I gave up on CW shows. Like I think on like season 2 or 3 of Flash, I was like, all right, they didn't jump the shark a while ago. So
I think it was like, well, it was like season 4 because they kept having just people, just other Flash people like, hey, I'm really fast at running too, so let's do this. And then
Dragon Ball Z. It was
yes,
Dragon Ball Z.
yeah,
You're the
it was
strongest.
straight
Well,
Dragon
I'm
Ball Z.
stronger than you. You're the fastest. Well, guess what? I'm faster than you. That's what it was.
And then it was clones, and there was things from the future. And then they tried to do a Flashpoint, which wasn't really good at all. Then they tried to do a Justice League with Black Lightning was good at first for the first season, and then just fell off.
Yeah.
I liked the few episodes of Black Lightning I saw.
It was good for the first season, and then I felt like they lost. I don't think you know how a show gets picked up, and you're like, they really knew what they were talking about for the first season, and they weren't expecting to get picked up for a second season.
Yes.
And so they're like, hey, we're struggling to find what we really want to do in this situation.
I feel like so Sir said earlier, and I feel like you guys both kind of agreed too, that we're losing steam. Was that Wyatt or Sir that said Marvel's losing steam?
Wyatt?
Me.
Okay, Wyatt. Okay. Wyatt said earlier Marvel's losing steam. It's the same thing you just said. They did season 1. They knew exactly what they were doing with season 1. It was the Infinity Saga. They nailed it. And then they just kept going. They should have taken some time. If they had like chilled, pumped the brakes, did Spider-Man if they wanted to, maybe Black Widow, whatever, and then waited a year and then released things again, like thought it out, I would have been palpitating, right? I would have been like itching to watch the next thing. Instead, it's like, well, here it is. This is eat this slop. So
I think now it's coming to a point where like I used to always get up and be like, oh, I got to see this episode, and now I'm more like, I'll catch it when I catch it. You know what I mean? Like if it's, and I think I catch it more just so that I can be able to not have it spoiled. If there was anything like WandaVision gave us a lot of like plot twists and surprises, and so that made it really, really good. But I think after that, and that's when you had to watch it just because people would spoil it for you like all the way. But that and Loki.
You'd have been in the Blerd group and someone would have dropped something about Kang.
Fucking lost. Yeah, so so it was one of those things. If you had to, like, that was just the one time that you just had to watch it from there. Now there wasn't anything that was like I don't even think that people were like, oh man, we have to watch this part. Everybody was just like, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been excited about a show like episode.
You know what show I'm like that with right now? Euphoria. Like every episode I wanted to see what was next immediately. I mainlined season 1 and half of season 2, and then I had to wait, and I was pissed. Like every episode I was like mad that I didn't just have the next one. So that's the only show I've seen like that in a while.
Yeah, Euphoria's great.
In terms of like Marvel TV shows and what Disney's doing, I'm very interested in Armor Wars. I think Armor Wars could be amazing. And Ironheart, I'm excited to see what they do with that. I think I'm excited about Ironheart and Miss Marvel for the same reason. Like, Ironheart and Miss Marvel give us an opportunity. Like, I'm pushing 40, right? And I feel like I'm Disney's main audience, or I was for the last 10 years. And I think Ironheart and Miss Marvel give Disney an opportunity to give it to the next generation, right? Like maybe I can like it, but like maybe those aren't really for me. That's to restart for those people. I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yes, I can take the back seat to their shows. Yes. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you.
They got to do it.
I agree with you.
What? So, if you had to give me 5 of Marvel's worst shows, no matter who,
Worst shows?
yes,
Top 5. Ooh. Oh. Okay, are we talking everything? Everything?
everything.
Okay. Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger was on that list. Iron Fist. Somebody gonna say Iron Fist.
Yeah, Iron Fist, of course. I hate to put her on here, but I got to because everything after the Purple Man was bad. Jessica Jones.
Go ahead, throw Jay on there.
That's another example where they should have quit after season 1.
Yeah, she shouldn't have had season 3. Definitely shouldn't have.
I'm gonna say the Inhumans.
We don't talk about
the watch that, so I didn't think
that didn't happen. Inhumans didn't happen. Damn it, Wyatt. I'm gonna put. They're gonna hate me for this because we're talking bottom tier. I gotta put Falcon and the Winter Soldier on there because it's the bottom of my top tier, so it's like the top of my bottom tier. If that makes sense.
Yes,
I liked that show. I like that show a lot.
I felt. So here's my thing about it. Like I felt like sometimes it's pandering. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't come genuine to like it was at the heart of everything that was going on, like socially and racially charged things, and I felt like it didn't have the heart and soul to really go into the ugly truth of the matter. Like the only thing that they did was like, hey, you know what I mean, you're Black Captain America, or hey, you know what I mean, he got stopped by the police, and you know what I mean, those kinds of things, or talking about like the housing thing where he couldn't get a loan. But I don't think it really got to
that's the Disney version of the problem.
Yeah. And the thing is, I felt like if you're going to go there, go there. You know what I mean? Like don't just kind of pussyfoot around it. Just be like, all right, I'm gonna step in it, and you know what I mean? We're gonna talk this ugly stuff. But
you know who went there? Netflix.
They would have. I mean, they did with Luke Cage. Luke Cage, like he was, and so like they went there a little bit with him. Let's see.
Bushmaster was a good villain. I like the Bushmaster.
Oh, you got Defenders too. You got to put Defenders in there.
Holy fuck, Defenders.
In the worst.
Yeah, in the worst.
Yeah, holy fuck, Defenders was terrible.
Defenders would have been really good if you took Iron Fist out of it.
Yeah.
I can't agree. I don't think we could have saved Defenders, bro.
I was making a joke. They had real problems.
They just were trying to do their own little Avengers, and they fell into that whole DC thing where like we got these 3 or 4 people, we're gonna put them together, and you guys are gonna love it because you guys want all. What was it? It was in season 2 of Luke Cage where it was more felt like the Heroes for Hire. And they had an episode where Iron Fist was there. Like that's the only way that I would have
liked that episode.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites of season, because season 2 kind of lagged, like it kind of drew out. But that one was
Iron Fist was trying to teach Luke Cage to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Defenders was definitely Daredevil 2.5.
Yeah. But it would have been give me instead Daredevil 2.5 and bring those dudes in.
Yeah.
Give me Daredevil's production team, Daredevil's directors, Daredevil's mood. Instead, you tried to make it like a harmonious slop pot of these things. And like, that doesn't work. When it was Daredevil's show, that was a good show. When it was just Daredevil, and you could tell they're focusing on Daredevil, I really liked it. But when anybody else was on, I was like, what's happening here?
Sure. What else? So
I
Go ahead.
I just want to bitch for a second. I think Marvel Zombies is going to suck, just personally. I think What If 2 could be like maybe specials. Like, don't give me a season. Throw a special at me every once in a while. If there's a really legitimately good story, like, look at it this way. Marvel Zombies, give me What If Marvel Zombies. That would be fun. Right? Where it's like a special, like, don't give me a whole, I don't need a whole series for Marvel Zombies. What if Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe? Like, something like that. But, like,
That'd be
if
really
you look
fun.
at it like every single thing has to be this extended 6-episode series, then you're hitting me with exactly what the problem is over and over.
Oh my God. What if was hosted by Deadpool?
Yeah. What if Deadpool was the Watcher? I'd watch that.
Oh,
I got something. It's probably not as good as those two things, but you know how they did anime and with Star Wars, and they had the Visions where they had like 9 different production companies have that. What if they did that with Marvel and they introduced like 9 different characters that way in their production style?
And you give us 9 different directors and they do whatever they want.
do y'all remember they actually did that like in the early 2000s?
They did
We had the
Batman.
anime style of different Marvel properties. We had Iron Man, X-Men, Blade, and something else.
Yes, the animes of those. Yeah,
Iron Man, X-Men, Blade, and Wolverine.
I really like that.
Yo, those was dope. Though I really like Blades and the X-Men one. Those were dope. So I wouldn't object to that. Now, if they did Inhumans like that, that would be lit.
Exactly.
Did you guys watch X-Men in 1997, the cartoon?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that was the best. How do you feel about X-Men 97?
Okay. Okay. I'm about to rant.
Of the old cartoon.
I'm about to rant. It's just a rabbit hole, so you're gonna have to follow me here. The only way I'm going to be happy is if it has those exquisite love triangle beefs where Wolverine is practically fucking everybody's girl.
Yeah.
And everybody Cyclops, see, the relationships have to be the same, if that makes sense.
They even have like the same voice actors, so I'm hoping that they
okay. And they can sprinkle in a couple of new people because I know they're gonna do it, whatever. But I absolutely need the drama because that's what made the show, to me at least. Don't get me wrong, the action was there, but the fact that Cyclops could say something and Wolverine be like, "Bitch, say what?" Just, it was perfect. And Gambit kept trying to smash Rogue, and
I don't know how that would. Yeah, that just didn't want. That wasn't going to work. How?
That's what. Okay. A hero is somebody who fights the fight knowing they're going to lose. Gambit is a hero. Okay.
Absolutely.
Gambit knew love, true love. He didn't care. He was gonna suffer the consequences, but he was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Todd said, "Deadpool, what if? Take my money,
bruh." And Ryan Reynolds, come on, bruh. Come on, man. That's money.
Yep. All right. Here's a special. What if Ryan Reynolds played every superhero? Done.
I need a whole episode of that.
Yeah.
I'll take a whole episode of that. I'm so serious.
Highest grossing product ever produced.
I'd take a full 59 minutes and 59 seconds of just that. I'd take it all. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot. Oh, by the way, I've got on my Moon Knight shirt.
Oh, okay. I like the shirt. Just the show needs work.
Yeah.
He's visually awesome.
Yeah, he looked cool. He looked cool. The suit looked really good.
Let's talk about just the shirts for a second. Okay, so like Spider-Man, the movie, No Way Home, wasn't into it. But I got a sick Spider-Man No Way Home shirt I love. I feel like a poser wearing it, but like I really like it. Same with that shirt over there. So like I kind of like that shirt. I'd wear that shirt. But also, then people would be like, "You like that show?" And I'd be like, "Nope."
Listen, bro, I had a Star Trek shirt that I loved, and I can't watch the show, can't watch the movies.
Yeah.
Just does not appeal to me. But I love some of their merch.
Yeah.
Fight me if y'all want, bro. But yeah,
Why
this is what it is.
are you doing anything cool with shirts right now?
What we are doing, we're doing 20% off with the promo code with the BS. So you just go to theblerdsyndicate.com and you can be able to get the latest merch. So that's what we're doing with shirts right now.
Don't get that 20% off. Take a picture, and when you take a picture in your gear, make sure to use the hashtag join the BS. We need that.
Yes.
Do that for us.
Yes, definitely. So, they got so many shows coming out. X-Men, I do want to see that. I just hope they don't. I hope they don't make it like a. I hope they don't make it too like family friendly. You know what I mean? Because like if you look at X-Men was not really family friendly. You know what I mean? Like he was Wolverine, like you said, was trying to smash every. Like he was hey, what's up? Like you don't really want to be with him. Like, you know what I mean? One of those kind of spiritual successors. I don't know if you guys ever saw this. Was Wolverine and the X-Men, where Wolverine was. Yeah, that one. That one was really. It was even funnier because after Jean had died, Wolverine caught. No, was that the anime that he did that where he caught him in bed with or talking to Emma Frost.
Emma
He was
Frost.
like, he's like, oh, which part of the grieving process is this? And he got
He
shot out the
blasted
window.
his ass out the window.
Yeah.
I think in Wolverine and the X-Men, Cyclops was like a hermit.
Yeah, he was brooding. So that must have been the anime that I watched that had something like that. Or maybe I'm mixing that with a comic.
That was
I remember reading it in the comic for sure, because that blasting out the window was a whole panel itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that because he was sitting at the foot of the bed, like,
Nobody wrecked the X-Mansion more than those two, Wolverine and Cyclops.
And they're grown ass men that did it too.
Well, there was one time Wolverine and Beast got into it, and they fucked shit up really bad. I'll never forget that. That's when I truly found out that Beast had hands.
But that was their house.
That's true. That's true.
This is where they sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Who cleaned up that shit? Like, do y'all
Not
ever
me.
think about that? You know what I mean? Like, did they have somebody on a cleaning crew?
They should, in the middle of in whatever arc. It's like they have that fight, and then it cuts to they're at the house like sweeping up garbage and.
So
man, can you imagine like just cutting to like the janitor coming in and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Their insurance must be sky high. That's how you know that you're old, when you think of like practical stuff, like who's paying for all this? You know what I mean? But back in the day, we wouldn't have thought about all that stuff. Now it's just like, who's paying for all this? What's going on here?
I think in Ultimate X-Men there was a quick interlude where Professor X admitted that he was brainwashing a number of people to fund it. Because somebody else asked that question.
That's morally corrupt, and I love it.
Right? And I've always asked the question myself. I think they did this a little bit in the comic, but like, did he brainwash the X-Men? He just hit people up and be like, join the X-Men, and they'd be like, all right. Wolverine was like an assassin, murderer, like Black Ops guy. And then this dude, this bald dude rolls in and he's like, hey, have you considered hanging out in my school for children? And Wolverine's like, yeah, I'd really like to do that.
Oh.
All
right. Well, Tot said he's got a roll. It definitely appreciate having you on, Tots. We're gonna have to have you on and really talk about it too one of these times too. So
yeah, man, get your ass up here.
So yeah, it's a fun time. Man, that is crazy though. Like you have to think about all the stuff like the logistics of running a school. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he had to do that every once in a while to get the accreditations that he needed to.
Right?
I'm over it. I don't like kids like that. And mutant or not, it's only so much sass I'm gonna take from a little kid.
Man, you love kids all of a sudden. Professor X asked you to.
You got a point.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, fellas, what other questions do y'all have?
I think that hit every point for me about this topic.
That was it, man.
I'm good. Real quick.
Well, we're gonna have to eventually talk about for some upcoming episodes we're gonna have for those still listening and things like that. We're gonna have a review of Doctor Strange one of these times. We're also going to have a conversation because in less than a month, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion comes out. So we're going to talk about the Jurassic Park movies, the franchise as a whole. Which one did you like? Did you like the first trilogy, or do you like, the second two that they've already remade? Like, are you doing dinosaur hands, Jeremy?
I was.
Well, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to see so we'll talk about that. I'm gonna have one crazy episode where I ask random questions like, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Those kinds of things that we have. So it's going to be a fun time. So stay tuned to the BS because we definitely will be on it. I want to tell you guys that I want you to share. And well, first of all, I want you to smash the follow, like all that good stuff, like the Hulk. And then we're going to be like
Wolverine.
Not like Wolverine. We
not
don't
like
want
Wolverine.
you not like Wolverine. Wolverine will. I mean, if you don't have a warranty on your computer and your electronics, hope you got Allstate. Anyway, so we want you to be like the Hulk, smash the like, follow, and subscribe. And we're going to be like Morgan Stark, and we're going to love you 3000. So until then, we want you to be just like the NWO and be just too sweet.